Hi guys, you're welcome back, and today we are discussing something very, very interesting. It has to do with Chelsea vice captain Enzo Fernandez, and he's back talking about different things, himself and his agents. I don't know, maybe he has his tails in between his legs right now, and that's the major thing we are looking at today. Midé, Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez, and his agent. What's Enzo Fernandez's problem?
Why are you saying my vice captain has a problem?
No, if you are not sure what you are doing, why do it in the first place?
Well, let's be honest. That was actually a very ill-advised, should I say, quote. You know, like I said in previous discussion over this topic, Enzo Fernandez is a fantastic player. You know, statistically, is one of Chelsea's best player this season and the last. And for you to grow, because it's quite influential. This is one of the reasons why his quotes are actually very, very damning. Is the fact that he's an influential figure in that dressing room, and he's a leader, somebody that even the management and the managerial crew too would want to, like, okay, if there's anything they want to pass on to the players, is somebody they can use, is a tool. So if you are using that influence, if you're using that capacity in the dressing room, you know, to throw shades, to throw your employers under the bus, then who else can you not throw under the bus? If you can do that to your own employers, people that pay your wages. So now the bottom, I get that he has some points, you know, like the way Chelsea is currently run. You know, we know how it has been over the last few years with the new ownership and all of that. But still, there are these guys are the same set of guys that are still paying your money. So you don't throw them under the bus.
Once your wages are being paid, you keep quiet.
Basically, they are actually buying your right, your freedom, you know, in a way. You are bound by a contract, you know, and once you are still under that contract, you know, you have, in a way, you have signed your non-disclosure agreement.
They hold your loyalty.
You know, it will not be a formal NDA, but in a way, they are telling you, even though we are throwing shit at you, you just have to take it. And that's it.
Elizabeth, let me ask this question.
Yes.
I know you are willing to say something concerning Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez apology. Is it damage control or humility?
Well, I would want to see it in two ways. Now, for his apology, it is at least for him to be able to take accountability for his action. This is a man that is, that is full of remorse. He wants to apologize. He wants to take accountability for what he has done. Yes, I went overboard as to how he replied to the interview after that game against PSG. He was just being a human, expressing himself. Now, let's look at Enzo Fernandez as a player. This is a player that has gotten number of trophies in his wardrobe at 25 years. And currently, he has had about 18 goals contribution for Chelsea this season. So he has
18 goals this season?
Yes, 18 goals contribution, not 18 goals.
Goals and assists.
Goals and assists, yes. 12 goals and then 6 assists.
I said statistically he's one of Chelsea's best
So
players.
right now,
even though I don't rate him.
So what I'm saying is that he's a player that wants to play. He has that passion in him. And if things are not going his way, he wants to talk. Even in games, you will see him talk to the referee. Sometimes the yellow card he picks up him trying to express his emotion to the referee, probably about an issue, a free kick not given, a foul not given. So he's a man that is passionate about the football and he's passionate about wearing that badge. Sometimes when he scores, you see him point at the badge that this I want to die for, this I want to play for. So I feel like his apology is normal. It should be accepted. He has made a mistake and he has come out in public to apologize. I think he has not done a public apology, but I think he has apologized to the team. That is a man that wants to play for Chelsea.
Let me ask this question, Midé. Well, you've seen the stats. I was even surprised. 18 goals contributions is actually very, very healthy for the amount it came for. One of the things that actually triggered all these issues was the fact that he mentioned that he likes Madrid as a city. I know that there's a particular club in Madrid. There are two clubs in Madrid, but we
know where the direction is going now.
Yeah, so you know the direction at which he's pointing.
Of course.
Now let me ask this question: is Enzo a player of Madrid quality?
Well, looking at the caliber of signing that Real Madrid has actually done in recent years, it's not far from what they have been signing. Are you telling me Tchouaméni is better than Enzo? Are you telling me
he's always available?
Is better than Enzo Fernandez? Are you telling me even at this moment, since last season, last season, are you telling me Jude Bellingham is actually better than him? So these are the questions you ask yourself when you ask that question. That is he the kind of player in Madrid of recent years will sign? Absolutely. But is he a Madrid player a player that in Madrid of those 10, 20 years ago?
So I say it's a matter of recent quality.
Yes, and that
There's been rumor also.
This is not just about just Real alone. This is about football. Like I said previously, football now is in serious need of serious talent. Football is so robotic, and what we have now is not the pure artistry, the pure entertainment, the pure talent that you usually usually see in football. This is not what we are seeing now, and it's such a. But that's not even the question. Now the question is he a profile or the kind of player that Madrid can sign? Yes, I can tell you that he's a player that Madrid can sign, given what they have signed over in recent years. So he's more or less like and let's face it, the fact that he has a World Cup, has to in a
Not
way
just
he's
the
a
World
galactic.
Cup. He has Copa America.
Yes.
He has Finalisma, Club World Cup trophy. Many. At 25.
I think he almost won it all.
That one is left for the Madrid board to decide if they want to sign Enzo Fernandez or not. Now, Elizabeth, let's look at this angle. Enzo Fernandez is on contract till 2032.
Yes.
Do you think that could have actually aided his decision to actually soft pedal on his speech? And how does long-term contracts affect players on the long run?
It's affecting them badly, especially for Chelsea players. And that is why Chelsea is trying to be manipulative with their signings. They get young players. Yes, now they get all these their cheeks.
This makes me very. It's a big reminder of that your statement.
They are poultry farm. They get chicks for their team. When they sign them young, and then they manipulate them and give them long-term contracts. Now, this period that Chelsea is a player, like I said, that is passionate about the sport. He wants to play at the highest competition. He wants to compete at the highest level. And Chelsea right now cannot do that. Come next season, let's be very honest, Chelsea can still not compete for the Premier League. And he's not even sure they're going to play the Champions League. So a player like that, he wants to move forward. Why tie him down? I'm not saying he should come out openly and do this thing. There's a way you people will call him to order. There's a dressing room, there's a board, there's all those things outside of the media. Call him. Do you want to leave or you still want to be here? You don't need to tie a player down just because it's on that contract. That is very wrong.
Midé, our player has been stingy right now. Also, greedy, yes, that's the word.
Greedy. In what
Signing
sense?
long-term contracts.
And I think that long contract with Chelsea
it's not even with Chelsea only. There are a lot of clubs
that do that.
No. Elilana also has a very long-term contract at Manchester City.
And yes, that was before those contracts were just after Chelsea did their thing. And I think they sort of UEFA came up with this plan that is nonsense. You can't be tying players down to long-term contracts when there's the future is always uncertain, like we are seeing with Enzo now. So now the question is that can they what are they greedy? I won't say they are greedy. This is down to the clubs, because clubs, as much as the players, are looking at their own future too. Now they don't want a situation by like Chelsea in this case. They had the issue with Rudiger when he had it was less than 2 years, or let's say a year before the end of his contract, and they were trying to and so they always look after their own future, their own big payday and all of that. And I think clubs are now wising up that, okay, fine, if you guys are going that route, we too can actually play fast one. And also, more reason why this is actually a thing is because of the amortization. Accounting
to spread
exactly over years, so that
years.
the cost, the players' cost on a yearly basis is relatively low, so they can actually do much more transfer. So I think it's not just about the player now; it's about the club too.
Well, Enzo Fernandez should actually find himself lucky. Playing for a club like Chelsea, that is my own, and I believe strongly that he's not of Madrid quality. You can hold me to my words. And like people say, there's freedom of speech. The freedom after speech is something that might not be guaranteed. That's our package for you on the Enzo Fernandez apology to the club and the one from his agent. Please do well to subscribe on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Like, comment, share, subscribe on our YouTube page at Score City NG. I remain Adedamola. Thank you and see you next time.
Bye.